Cheers everyone, Cloudfather here. We're doing an interesting project for the next day or two. I'm building a very flat base for the inside of my laser bed. The problem that I have is that the honeycomb, particularly with two aluminum plates instead of one big plate, basically is off by as much as plus or minus 2 mils. And the problem with that is that screws up the focus of your laser, so you don't get good stuff. So I just happen to have sitting out in the barn some 12 gauge. It's galvanized mild steel, and that's the steel number. And so what we're going to do first is we're going to go through and smooth all the edges. We're going to take a scale, make sure it's flat. We're in the middle of waiting for parts for the laser, so I have a laser taken apart. This is the inside of the enclosure, and where that's going to fit is underneath. What we used to use are these panels from IKEA. They're okay, but the problem is where they come together, we have two of them side by side, the honeycombs don't stay flat. So if you're doing something more than a few hundred millimeters, if you're doing something that's like 800 by 800 millimeters, or say realistically 785 by 845, problem is the focus will be off across the bed. And the problem is that requires a lot of extra work to fix that, and many times you can't. So while we're waiting for parts, again, we're going to redo the inside of the enclosure. You'll notice we used our 3D printer to build flow directors on both sides. And so we flow from the intake side here to the exhaust side. And we have 1600 CFM in here, so it actually keeps the interior of this pretty clean. Here we have our 70. You can see we have it taken apart. And these are all the bits for that. So we're going to go ahead today and see what we can do to get this piece of steel mounted in. We're going to prep it. We're going to paint probably white primer. The reason why I'm going to put the primer on is I know it's going to get burned off, but this helps flatten everything. Once the honeycomb's on it, the honeycomb takes most of the abuse because it's going to be 10 mils out of focus, which means there'll be a lot less heat. And most of the time, through most of the surface, there won't be anything going on with it. So that's our project for today. We'll take a few little snapshots as we go through it to do the high points. Alrighty, we're back. We finished sanding this down with 80 grit, then with 220. Then we did a wipe with acetone to clean the surface up. And then we used Rust-Oleum 2X, which is a paint and primer, a flat black. That'll be our base coat. I'm debating whether I want to make the other side white because white will diffuse laser light, where black, of course, absorbs the heat. So that's the next thing I'm thinking about. So in about an hour and a half after this dries, we'll flip this over and start looking at what I want to do for the white side. Alrighty, we're back. As you can see, we've got the new really flat piece of 12 gauge steel in the base. On top of this, of course, we're going to put the honeycomb down. Now, one of the things I'm shopping for is a piece of honeycomb that's the same size as this. This is about 930 by 828 millimeters. So it's it fits the bed well. The nice thing about it is it'll sit under the gantry, but it doesn't touch the gantry. So that works well, and it's excellent fire protection. You will never get the laser to burn through this. Okay, as you can see, we've got everything fitted in here. We've got to make some stops for here, and on the side that keeps the honeycomb straight and flat. Notice we put a new metric and inch rule. I found this at Hobby Lobby for, I think it was $9. And I really like this because it's really easy to read, and it's away from where the laser actually hits. So it will maintain its accuracy. So we're basically done with this. Now I'm just waiting for parts. When the parts comes in, I'll add the other little doodads. But this actually turned out pretty nice. The other thing I'm doing, what's printing in the printer, is I've got all of these Christmas light ornament LED strips. And once this is done, I'm going to be printing out a bunch of little holders so I can secure everything down. And I'm going to do that in PLA transparent. That way we get good light diffusion, and it'll keep things out of the way. So that's all for today. Cloudfather out.